Welcome to Quality Insight Volume 10. My name is Brad Sandlands, co-founder of Quality Insight, along with business partners Paul Murphy and Lisa Goff. Look, today's topic I'm going to talk to you today about is sales training and why would it be relevant in this day and age in residential aged care and home care for that matter. Aged care, as we know, we've got some new changes coming through on the Act, which do affect the admissions process. And some of them can be quite complicated, but more than that, we're dealing with people, and having connection to people improves that transparency piece, but also having the confidence to be able to talk about the features and benefits coming into care is really important to arrest any fears that people have when they're coming through the door as well. So sales training in my book is really important to not only get your staff and your team members ready for those discussions and know and have good knowledge around what's taking place, but it's also got to be part of that journey of coming into care for people and settling them down to show them that it's not a scary or the end of it all type aspect. It really is something that needs to be explained carefully. Decisions can be quite costly, and you need to be assured that the information you're conveying is as accurate as possible. We quite often use an analogy in our training that people will take longer to select a lawn care maintenance company or go and select a refrigerator than the time taken to pick an aged care home and possibly spend up to $1 million of a RAD coming into care, plus the other ongoing costs. So it's really important that the people that are trained and they understand what is taking place to bring people through the door. The changes post-July 2025 will affect a lot of the higher means people coming through. There will be some changes that need to be taken on account for other means levels of people coming in, but the real big ticket for me that's coming through is that the assessment criteria has to be spot on, which means the processes and the systems that are used within care to triage or qualify people is going to be really important. So one of the things I'll be looking at straight now is what are the current processes and systems that are in play in the residential aged care journey and what needs to be manipulated or changed. Now, you can do that a couple of different ways. One is you can engage some mystery shopping to determine what's going on. And yes, free plug for Quality Insight that we do mystery shopping, but it is an important tool to understand what is currently taking place and what may needs to change with the current aspect of how people have been brought into the care home. The second thing you can do with mystery shopping is really pinpoint where your gaps are in terms of a skill development piece. Again, it's an area that we bang on a lot about in Quality Insight, but this admissions process cannot be part of someone's job. It's got to be one of those things that you have a concentrated effort on because it is becoming more complicated and more vital that people are brought through the channel appropriately and correctly. Also, the systems that are in use, you might have CRMs in play, you might be working off spreadsheets, whatever it is. I'd be reviewing what they are and how you're collecting information and then how that information is flowing through to your different systems. There's probably double, triple up of handling of people's information as it's flowing through, and that's not efficient for the overall process of bringing people in. The first bit that really needs to be looked at quite carefully is the qualification. So once you've generated that lead and that person's made a call, or a hospital social worker or discharge planner has made that call through seeking a bed, that qualification of the new resident is extremely important. It's more important post-July than it is now. We have vacancy issues, so occupancy is high for most providers. Staffing is an issue that needs to be taken on account. So the qualification of that person coming through the channel really does need to be quite specialised now. So those providers that have centralised call teams that are just taking your name and address, they need to do more. They need to take more information. Those vertical sales teams where the consultant is used to taking down a lot of detail, but they're probably asking more questions based on the criteria against a resident profile. And all these things are quite easy to work out and to put into place. But if you're not doing it now, you will be inefficient post-July, particularly with the maximisation of your beds. It's not always commercial, but I think we're in a situation now as an industry where if we don't sort of take the commercial arc more seriously, then providers won't be around for much longer. And you certainly won't be building or renovating any homes as you're moving through the next couple of years. Once you've qualified that person, then you've deemed that we want to bring them for a tour and the people want to rightly have a look at the home, you need to have a good look at what that tour actually entails. It needs to be personalised and needs to be targeted towards the consumer coming through the door. We've done previous videos and we'll post them in different comments, but when you look at something like additional services, so the user pays services that are now under the acronym of health, higher everyday living fee, they need to be sold in. And the only way you're going to sell them in is to really highlight the features and benefits of those services and products. You're best placed to do that on a tour. So the tour is probably going to move from more of a, here's how we do things clinically, which is still extremely important, to here are the other services that we're going to have on offer. So that does need to be taken into account when you're developing your sales strategy and sales structural process. And then what you want to get out of the tours as people are going through that. The tour is going to be an extremely informative and highly important aspect of that admissions journey. So it needs to be looked at quite carefully. Post that, you've got the follow-up. So people are going to have more choice in terms of you're going to have providers out there that have got product A, B, and C, and they're all looking for that higher means resident. People are going to have choice across those rooms. So how you sell in your product and how you display your product and how you present it is going to be really important. The three key areas for me when you're looking at the tour and then the post follow-up, have you clearly explained how the clinical care is done? Have you clearly explained how socialization works within your care home? And have you clearly explained how fees and charges work, including any user pays services and how they are appropriate for that person? So that's going to become really important in how you conduct yourself in that tour, and then any follow-up questions post that. So follow-up is really vital. The last thing that just to point out on this really quick video is around the structure. I've explained it in previous videos, but the structure of how you do sales would have to be looked at for most providers between now and July 1st, 2025. The structure could be that you've got a centralized call team and you've got the care homes doing tours and information's flowing out there. I can tell you in 80% of all cases, it's not done great. And if it's not done great now, it's going to be done really poorly post-July, because the assessment piece is going to be more and more vital, not only from a financial aspect, but for also clinical scoring around what classification on NAC that someone's coming into. Because if you haven't got that right, you're not going to get your staffing levels right. And into 2026, if you haven't got your staffing levels right, you'll be handing money back under your NAC funding. So all this now becomes really important, and it needs to be quite symbiotic in terms of how it operates from a sales structure, from the inquiry, flowing all the way through to day of admission, and then post-admission in the care and the continual client retention, if you like, of those additional service products. I'm Brad Sandlands. I hope you enjoyed what we've done through this video today. Please like and subscribe and comment if you'd like to see any other topics discussed. If you do require some help or information further around your sales structures, please contact us at Quality Insight. More than happy to have a no obligation free conversation around what our thoughts and what our processes are, and they may align with what you want to do. Thanks again and take care.